but you're working full time still, like as a job. You've got a business. You're starting a wash and fold or pick up and delivery, and you're buying a second location kind of all
at the same time,
which is like, that's whatever. That's like a Tuesday or whatever. Normal. Why? Why? You're like trying to ramp up this pickup and delivery business, and you're buying the second store, and you're having a baby, and like, what was that time? Was it as chaotic as it sounds, or did it go smoothly?
Smooth? No, I wouldn't characterize it as smooth.
If you're listening to the audio right now, the face she just gave me was, it's worth going to watch the video for it. Okay, keep going. I didn't mean to cut you off. Stop being uncomfortable, you know. You ever thought about just stop? Just
stop, right? Just now? Stop, right now? Stop? Yeah. Okay. Okay.
Right now. Done. Happened. We just fixed it. If you were to give yourself advice, or somebody else who's searching now, maybe just one piece of advice on how to get that first laundromat and make sure it's the right one for you, you got like a go-to piece of advice for that?
If it's just one thing? Okay, maybe it's like a combination.
Give more than, okay, you can combine them. I'll allow it. Since you're so well-spoken and great on camera, I'll allow it. Hey, what's up, guys? It's Jordan with the Laundromat Resource Podcast. This is show 222. And I'm pumped you're here today because today we have on the show Stacey Drake, which this is just an incredible story. So good. It's so funny because Stacy was like, I don't know. And then she just came out and delivered just a gem of an interview, which you're going to love and get a ton out of. So, dude, I can't wait for you to meet Stacy. This is one you got to listen to for sure. Just take my word for it. Okay. You come find me at the end here in the outro and, tell me I was wrong. You won't, because I'm right here. Definitely need to listen to it. Real quick before we jump into it with Stacy, I want to invite you guys, come out with Hawaii with me. We're not quite sold out. I love to sell out, mostly because I just think that anybody who comes here is going to, their business is going to get better. Like I just know what this event's going to do for some of your guys' businesses. So I love to sell it out. I love to have you out here. We're like almost not quite there, but almost. So listen, laundromatresource.com/Hawaii. Come out to Laundromat Accelerator Hawaii. We are going to be digging into your business. You're going to walk away with practical tips, insights, a game plan for your specific laundromat or laundromat portfolio or laundry business. If you're on the pickup and delivery side, we're giving you practical stuff for your specific laundromat. I'm just so excited about it. So anyways, come and join us. Not only that, we're doing it in Hawaii. Okay. Tax write-offable. It's really, that's like a 30% discount right off the top there. Cause you're going to write it off. Right. So it's a no-brainer in my book. So come hang out. We're going to be on Waikiki, doing it upright, getting in rooms full of people who are thinking deeply about their laundromat businesses. When you get in rooms like that, something magical happens. I will tell you that from my personal experience of paying big money to be in rooms with people thinking deeply about business. I think this is going to change the way you think about your business. So come join us, laundromatresource.com/Hawaii. Book it. Just do it. And listen, if you come and you hate it and you feel like you got nothing out of it, come talk to me. I'll just refund your money to you. I guarantee you that. I genuinely will, because I'm that confident you're going to get way more value out of this thing than it costs you to come out here and hang out with me, which already in and of itself sounds like a bargain, don't you think? All right. Anyways, let's jump into it with Stacy, and hopefully I'll see some of you guys out here in Hawaii. laundromatresource.com/Hawaii. All right, Stacy, let's do it. Stacy, thank you for coming on the show. How are you doing today?
I'm well. Thanks for asking. Thanks for having me.
It is my pleasure. I'm super excited about it. We were chatting before we hit record, and I am like ecstatic about this. Super excited to dig into your experience in this industry. Real quick, can you give us a rundown? Who are you and how did you get into this weird business of laundromats?
Okay, well, I'm Stacey Drake, owner of Bubbly Mat Laundry, and I still work full time. So this was initially more of an investment. So my husband and I were looking for smart investments, and like most people, we kind of settled on real estate. It was like, okay, LA real estate's great, but let's look into some other cities, some other states where we could kind of stretch the money that we were making here and then invest it elsewhere to, just benefit from it. But the pandemic hit 2020 and we could not travel. So all the tickets we had to kind of leave the state and venture off and look at real estate elsewhere wasn't able to happen. And we ended up going to a seminar and they talked about the laundry industry. And we were kind of looking at each other like, hey, is this something we could do? You're like, yeah, let's try it. So from there, we started kind of looking around at different laundromats. And to be completely honest, it's very hard to just like go on a site and see which laundromats are available for sale. So I love researching and I literally just start going to different laundromats and talking to the owners there and see whether or not the facility was available. While my husband on the other end kept like looking just like I was, but he was like going and seeing if any brokers had anything to offer at that time.
When was that? When were you looking for this first one?
So it's so that was the end of 2019. And then by January 2020, we were looking.
Okay.
By January 2020.
Do you remember, I mean, listen, the world has changed since then and the industry has changed a lot since then, but do you remember how long it took you from like when you started looking to actually find that first one?
When we finally found it and made the purchase, it was now June. So okay. 6 months. It took about 6 months. That's not too bad,
actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It took about 6 months. Yeah.
June of 2020 is when you bought it?
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, you are straight into the fire. That's like not even that long after the pandemic hit, right? We hit in like April or something.
Yep.
You were right there, man.
Yeah,
okay.
But the minute we knew we couldn't travel, it's like we couldn't just hold on to the money. We had to invest it and we didn't want it to just sit in the bank. So, I said I'm a researcher. I'm a go-getter, can't sit by and wait for anybody, or let something just fall in my lap. We had to go out and kind of look for it.
Yeah. Well, there's researchers and then there's researchers and doers. And it sounds like you're the latter. Yes. I talk with a lot of people who are researchers who get stuck in that research loop. They just love researching and, that fear is kind of hard to overcome to actually take the action and actually pull the trigger and buy that business. So how did you get over that hump and actually say, okay, well, we've done the work. First of all, how did you decide the one that you were going to buy was the one that you were going to buy? And then second of all, how did you kind of get over that fear to actually go for it?
Okay, so our first location, the one we initially purchased, is in Norwalk. And when I went, I actually met with the owner and he was actually in real estate as well. But the laundromat was too far from his house. And so he's like, when things break, he had to come back. But just like walking around the laundromat, I started identifying like, this is ours. And this is what I would like to see. And I was like, okay, there's a lot of technological advances that could happen here that'll make this a great place. It was centrally located. It is near the 605-105 freeway, a block from Costco. And then just where it was, a lot of renters, a lot of apartments. And so I was like, this is a good spot. And so I really started talking to the owner. I built a relationship with him. I kept in constant contact with him, even like just trying to tell him like, hey, this is what I see. I think I can make this a great place. And I started sharing my vision with him. And on Mother's Day, he called me and he said, you know what, I had more cash offers and even offers better than yours, but I'm going to choose you for the laundromat. And I was like, oh my God. And I had my mouth wide open. I was ecstatic. I was grateful. And I'm like, oh my gosh. And he was just like, you know, I saw your vision. I saw your passion and I want to give it to you. I want you to have it because I think that you're going to be successful. And well, I am. But I was just really, really grateful. So I think that piece, like establishing that relationship, and I wrote an interest letter as well. So even after I had met him, I wrote a letter saying, you know, so glad to meet you. And I really like this place and I'd really like for you to consider me. And he did. And I actually, you know, still talk to him afterwards. So, yeah.
Okay. Well, listen, I have it on good authority that it is impossible to buy a laundromat because unless you have all cash to give all cash offers. So are you lying to us or no, I'm just kidding. I think
not.
that this
you can call him. I told you I still have his number.
Yeah.
And I did not have all cash to purchase the laundromat. I really do believe, and I mean, I hear the same thing, like you need all cash to do it. And people will sell that. But I am proof that I didn't have all cash. And I believe that building that relationship is what carried me over. And really showing the passion. I mean, a lot of times with anything, if you tell them, oh, do this, do that, but you're not passionate about it, it's hard for people to believe you. So, and I am still passionate, still very passionate about it. Just because I grew up in the inner city. And this is something that my husband and I talked about at length, that you go into a lot of laundromats, they are in an inner city because most people don't have in-home laundry. And we've actually talked to other laundromat owners who have told us, like, why are you putting so much money into this? Doesn't make sense. You're wasting your money. You're decreasing your profit margins for what? And we're just like, he said, one owner told us, they live across the street. They don't have a car, so they're going to come here. And I just don't think that is right to just give people anything. So when we decided what we wanted our laundromats to look like, what we wanted to include, we were considering the communities that we once lived in and that we constantly serve today. And so it's like, you don't just give people what you think they deserve, but you give them, you know, the finer things. They should be able to experience the finer things in life. Just because their geographical area doesn't, you know, promote that doesn't mean that we can't bring it to them. And so we think that it's very important for, you know, I mean, laundry is a necessity. It's something that we have to have clean clothes, you know? And so I think that everybody deserves the chance to wash in a clean laundromat where there aren't rats and roaches and dirty machines. I mean, it's important. It's humanity, and we should care about, you know, people's dignity and making sure that they have nice things as well. So I love that. And I mean, that's something that we've talked about a lot on the podcast too, is like we have, especially if you're an urban or inner city laundromat, you have the opportunity to bring dignity to people, to demonstrate, you know, to people that they do have value in a community where that's not always given to them, right? Whether that's in the businesses in the area or the way they're treated by, police, or whether the way that they're treated by the school systems or, you know, whatever. But we have an ability to, you know, our business is unique in the sense that it's one of the few places that communities still come together in a lot of places, and they meet each other in person. And so we have this ability to say, hey, you matter. We value you as a community and as a person. And that's huge. Like so I love that. I love that, making that decision. And it is very counter
where our industry has come from, right? I think that set it and forget it, that they have to come to our business has been the mindset in our industry for a long time. And I think people like, you and your husband and other people we've had on this podcast are starting to say, hey, you know what? Not only do we have an ability to do something good in this community, but we can make money doing it. And I think is what it's about, right? Like that's a win-win for everybody in my book. So I love that. Okay. So you bought this thing from this guy, and I appreciate you sharing that there was all cash offers, because I do hear a lot, when people are like, I'm so frustrated, I can't compete with the cash offers and stuff. And, while it's not true that you can't buy a laundromat unless you have cash, that's not true. It might be true that you can't buy lazy if you don't have cash. You're going to have to get out there and get your hands dirty a little, right? Like build some relationships, which is, I think a great way to go anyways. But you might have to build some relationships. You might have to keep calling people, keep sending out mailers, keep doing all the things that you got to do to find the deal. Because there are people that will do business with you, that will sell you their business, especially if they get to know you and they catch that vision and they see that passion that you talked about. Okay. I've been talking way too much here. I just got super excited about what you got going on and how you guys are doing business. I want to hear about, what was the experience like? Like, okay, you bought this from this owner, you got the keys for the first, I don't know what it was like for you. I got like a little, cookie dough bucket of keys. Yeah, that's what I got. But you got your bucket of keys. So what was it like? How was it feeling? Were you guys like, yes, excited? Were you nervous? Was it a little bit of both? What was that like?
It was all that. I'm excited. I'm nervous. And then it's like, oh my God, what did we just do?
Yeah.
I still work. Wait a minute. Wait. Are we sure about this? So we did not have any employees. In my family, I love them. My family will attest to this, that I utilized every cousin and aunt and my parents and friends and just everybody to kind of make sure that things kind of got off the ground. So he gave it to me with no real instructions on how to run it, because it was more like, oh, it's a laundromat. It runs itself. People come in, they put the quarters in, and then everything goes. But for us, again, some of the things that were missing were the attendant. And yeah, we could make more money by not having an attendant. But the issue for us was that service. We want to provide exceptional service. I'm a service-oriented person, so I go places. If the service is not good, I'm going to let you know. And I think that customer service is paramount. Without customers, we don't have a business. And so I'm always preaching, like, we need good customer service. Customer service is essential. Like when people come in here, the same way I treat my employees, which is like family, I'm expecting them to treat the customers the same way. So at the very beginning, I had to take time off work to work the laundromat. So it was me in there washing. It was me in there answering questions. I knew customers who came in. I talk. I don't have a problem talking to people. So establishing that connection with the customers who came in. I wanted to know their names. I wanted to know about their kids, if they had them, about their pets. I knew how often they came to wash. So I know, oh, you're here on Thursday. Oh, number 6 is your washer. Don't worry, I saved it for you. So things like that. And people started coming in and saying, oh, we love what you've done. We made a lot of upgrades. We had to lease the equipment because it's expensive. They don't tell the things they don't tell you. But yeah, it's a lot of hands-on at the beginning. It's not like I got the keys and I opened the door and then like all the money's coming in and I didn't have to do anything else. It definitely takes work.
Yeah. And that's, I think the money and the work is the things they don't tell you, right? They tell you the money comes in and you don't have to do any work. That's the message, right? That's the draw.
Terrible advice.
Yeah. And it just doesn't work that way for anything really, not laundromats or anything else that I found. If somebody knows, like, let me know. I'm open to that. Yeah, so I get that. But I love that you just kind of tapped into your network, right? Your family, your friends, your cousins, your aunts, whoever, neighbor kid, whatever, like you running by here, come help me with this. I love that. And that is how, I think a lot of people get into this business, right? Is like you get in and there's not a lot of direction because either you want to do something different than the previous owner was doing, or the other owner is just like, I'm done. Like I'm out. I don't want to I know I'm supposed to train you for 2 weeks, but I'm just not going to put in that effort because I'm done. And so, and that's great. Like I think getting in the business, that's what better way to learn the business than to get your hands dirty, get in there, meet the customers, figure out who it is that you are serving and what best serves them as well, right? What needs they have. Can you talk about, you mentioned now a couple of times that you guys did some upgrades and stuff like that. Can you talk about what you guys did to that business?
Okay. Everything. So
talk about what you didn't do to the business. No, I'm just kidding.
Number one, the machines. So there were older machines. There were a lot of machines that had the little sign out of order. And we don't like that. You want to be able to utilize all of the equipment as much as possible, because that's one of the things that frustrates customers as they go in there and there's a lot of things not working. So, they would have to wait for someone else to finish. And so the equipment, the floors, again, it was more of how we wanted to come off as a business, how we wanted to present ourselves. So we wanted to add some color because it was all white walls and we don't like
sterile.
That. Yeah. And we love art. We love art. There's a lot of art in my house. As you start seeing the podcast or the videos that I'm starting to do, you see art in the background because we love art. So we got an artist to come out. We did a mural on our outside. We did one on the inside. We have our, Bubbly Mat logo and our little washer machine, everything. We added some color, more direction, like, okay, this is where the wash and fold is going to go. This is where this is. Some signage as far as on the outside so people know like what time we open. Because when I purchased it, it was just on the door in white, like stencil, and it's very small. Nobody could see that. And we're getting a little bit older, our eyes don't work like they used to. So we started signage in outside and inside. We changed the flooring just because, it's going to get dirty. And, how you want the dirt to show how much of it and what was easier to clean. What else did we change? So those were like the initial things. And then there was the soap vending machine, but it was one of the old school ones that go on the wall, and then you have to put the quarters in and push it and
push the thing in.
No, we don't want to do that. So again, it was more just kind of like a facelift, modernizing the laundromat, like I told him I would do. And that's kind of where we started. So that was expensive, all those upgrades. And again, not something that they discussed, but something you definitely need to know. And on top of that cost is, the cost for the business license or having the health department come in. Like, they didn't tell me the health department. I said, we're not serving any food here. But they come and they check the water temperature, all these things that they don't tell you. Getting our fire extinguishers checked. Like, all these things are things that I had to learn. So I had to go back and do some more research and say, what else do we have to do? What else do we have to pay for? But it was difficult at the beginning.
Yeah. Well, and you have the privilege of owning businesses in California, who notoriously does not make it easy for us to run businesses because there are a lot of regulations. Yeah.
They don't.
So yeah, you pay for that privilege.
This is true.
Mightily.
This is very true. But it didn't stop us from purchasing another laundromat.
Yeah. So, okay. So, well, first of all, before we jump into that, when you took over the laundromat, was it as expected? Like, was the business performing the way the previous owner told you it was performing? Were there any big surprises for you?
So I think he was pretty honest about the numbers, but because it was a pandemic, business had slowed, which is not something that we took into account. And that's another reason why I haven't quit my job. You know, you have to be stable, because the one thing I did tell my husband was that if this is not working out, we have to let it go, you know, because we're never going to take from our personal funds to try to fund this laundromat. You know, if it's getting to the point where, you know, we have to decide, okay, are we going to pay mortgage or we're going to pay rent here? No, it's always going to be our household first. So we had to try to figure out what else we could do to make it profitable for us and make it worth keeping. And yeah, then I got pregnant. So.
Okay. So, I mean, there was nothing else really going on. So why not just bring a baby into this?
What are we supposed to do?
Hey, good for you, though. You know what I mean? Good for you. The pandemic babies, there had to have been a boom around that era.
Oh, man, I'm pretty sure. But I mean, that's when our wash and fold service really picked up, because I was high risk and I couldn't do the laundry. I couldn't lift as much as I would have liked to. But we need clean clothes and we have in-home laundry. So, and he's like, just take it to the laundromat. I said, no, I'm not. I don't want anybody else to do my laundry. I could do it by myself. And he was like, but you can't. And I'm like, okay, well, you have two hands. You do it.
You can do it.
And it was just like, yeah, no, you know, you normally do the laundry. And I'm very particular. I'm like, you got to separate this. You can't put the kids' clothes with the adult clothes. And if I did let him do it, everything was going to go in. Everything was going to go in there. Didn't matter what color, come out pink, you know, and it wouldn't matter.
Everything's going to be the same color when I'm done with it. Yeah.
It'll look like your shirt.
Yeah, that's right. This used to be white. I don't know.
Right. So that happened, and he was like, just take it. And it really was out of a need. And so finally I said, okay, you know what? Fine. I'll take it, but don't take my underwear. I'm going to keep those at home and I'll wash it. It's not too heavy. I can do it. But when they did it and it came back and all I had to do was put it away, I was like, oh my gosh, like, do you know how long I spend doing the laundry for my girls, for myself, for my husband? And now I was in a position where I couldn't do it. And so I was like, oh my gosh, people need this, not because they're being lazy, but because like me, I'm on bed rest, I'm high risk, I can't do it. Then I'm like, oh my gosh, what about elderly? What about people who just had surgery? This would be a great resource for them. So like, okay, let's do it. And so then, of course, start researching again. How do we make this part of it work? And that actually is going to build the revenue for us because, it's the pandemic. Although the laundromats were open because they're essential, you still had to have the little signs, 6 feet, and then have the machine set to, you know, how many people could be in the area at a time. We still had, you know, all the hand sanitizer, all the things. But this way, now we can just deliver it to their doors, drop it off, and it's ready for them. And that's how the wash and fold part of it really started, is out of a need for myself and my family. And then identifying other people who could use it, the working professionals, you know, those traveling nurses who were here who just needed to get their stuff done and get back to work. And that's how that part happened.
let's not rule out us lazy people who also just need it done too, because we're lazy. So we're also in there.
Yeah, I'm not going to call you lazy. I'm just going to say that you pay for convenience.
Yes, yeah. I like that. That's what I'm going to tell my wife too.
Well, don't involve me in that.
I won't. I'll leave your name out. Was this out of your Norwalk location still?
Yes.
That you started that?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So this started before that second location came about.
So we were in the process of.
Okay. Oh, so you're doing both at the same time while pregnant and all that. Is that okay?
Yeah, 21.
Okay.
Yeah. So 21. Yeah. So literally I purchased the second location 1 year after the first.
Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome. Mm-hmm. So, okay. You've got a business, you're working full time. Mm-hmm. Well, were you off during the pregnancy?
Yes.
Okay. So you're off during the pregnancy, which is good, but you're working full time still, like as a job. You've got a business. Mm-hmm. You're starting a wash and fold or pick up and delivery, and you're buying a second location kind of all
at the same
time, which is like, that's whatever. That's like a Tuesday or whatever. Normal. Why buy a second location when you're trying to build this other business?
Well, the price was right. For the second
the deal's
location.
The deal's there. Yeah. Okay. How did you find it?
The deal was there. Actually, my husband found this one, and it's one of the ones that we had already looked at. So when we initially started looking at locations, but the owner wasn't selling at the time. But a year later, it's like, oh, he's selling it. Let's check it out. And I'm like, well, you go, because my feet hurt. But he went, but same thing, conversations with the owners and, but this owner, the second owner wasn't really trying to hear us anyway. They're like, how much are you going to buy it or not? It's like, okay, it's available. And we kind of had, we were in a good spot because we already had the other one. So it's like, oh, we've been running this for a year. We know what we're doing.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And it's profitable. But yeah, I would say 21 going into 22 was when the wash and fold really kind of picked up more. I mean, it probably picked up more then because now we kind of are in the groove of things. We kind of know what to do. And the laundromats themselves are kind of not running themselves, but people come in and watch. They don't need too much help, especially because we do have newer machines. So it's not like, oh, things are breaking down. Questions that people ask, we had someone available on site, which is really important, that they don't have to wait to call somebody because a quarter got stuck in the machine or the app or something is not working. There's somebody physically there to assist. So that's why we do have attendants on duty.
Yeah. Well, and that is one of the beauties of the business, right? Like, I don't think anybody should go into it thinking it's not going to be any work. However, once you kind of get things set up and you kind of get your systems in place and you get the right people in place to help you, it can start to get more and more hands off. Now, I would never go like totally hands off with the businesses, but you can make it, but you can lean it heavily towards that passive side of the spectrum. Once you kind of get your feet under you and get things rolling. One thing you said, like, I love, like, these are conversations I have with people all the time. So I'm just going to point them to this podcast episode from now on, who are struggling to find deals, right? The two things you've done really well that I keep trying to drive into people's skulls is, number one, you built those relationships. And that's how you found that first deal. And number two is all the effort that you put in for that first deal ended up also paying dividends by bringing you that second deal down the line. Right. And that's a lot of times where it's when you're looking for that first one, you're not really as concerned about like, hey, maybe some of these deals have come back around 2 years later.
Oh no.
Right. But it is one of the benefits of doing all that work and getting out there and building relationships and reaching out and let people know what you're looking for is that, hopefully you'll find the right one for now, but also it gives you opportunities down the line to have more things kind of fall into your lap. Well, it looked like they fall into your lap, but really you went out and made it happen because you're a researcher and a doer, get it done person. I love it. So talk to me about this transition. I mean, you're like trying to ramp up this pickup and delivery business and you're buying the second store and you're having a baby. And like, what was that time? Was it as chaotic as it sounds or did it go smoothly?
Smooth? No, I wouldn't characterize it as smooth.
If you're listening to the audio right now, the face she just gave me was, it's worth going to watch the video for it. Okay, keep going. I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, not smoothly. It was rough. And I think that, and I should have my husband here to tell his side of it. I think I was a little bit more demanding and a little bit more frustrated because I couldn't do everything that I wanted to do, how I wanted to do it because there were limitations. But my mouth still works. So I was still able to have those conversations like we've been talking. But it wasn't smooth. I didn't have my daughter until December of 21. So
right when the pickup delivery was picking up.
Yeah. So it was picking up and
great time.
I start again to depend on my family. I have some older girls. They're older, but not adults, who were helping. And then I have my nephews, who I have one who's he's a little businessman. So he would like, TT, do you need help today? I can come help you at the laundromat, which was very helpful for me. But like I said, it wasn't smooth, but it was doable because I had a support system. So I don't ever want people to think like, oh, I did this all by myself and there are no people behind me helping me out. I have a very good support system. And so my sister, my kids, my husband, my nephews, my friends all come out and say, how can we help? And so sometimes my cousins were my delivery drivers because we couldn't, get it off the ground, or I drive and they'll pick the stuff up because I couldn't carry the things. And my husband really handled the purchase part of it. So, he has all the information and anything that comes like tech where you have to type anything, I was doing that part because that's not his job. I think we created a system where we have very distinct roles and we know what we're good at. And we kind of stay in our lane and that helps. So. Yeah.
Well, that's awesome. And where I think this is going to really pay dividends for you is that you've now you bought a laundromat, you've started a pickup and delivery from scratch, right? There was no pickup and delivery when you bought it.
Right. No,
which is not easy to do. And maybe we can talk about that actually too. And then you bought a second one, we'll talk about the next one here in a second, but you had some like limitations, right? Behind you to where you had to figure out ways to get it done where it couldn't DIY it, right?
Correct.
Where I think that's really going to pay dividends for you is that as you continue to grow, if you can kind of keep that mindset of, okay, let's not grow by adding more to my plate, but let's grow by adding systems and the right people in places.
Yes.
Right? So I think it's actually, I know it was like rough going through it, which it always is. There's like no getting around that, especially when you're trying to grow. Like if it's not rough, then you're not growing really. But I think it's really going to pay dividends for you as you continue to scale, which is kind of exciting now that you've kind of gone through that. Yeah. And for your husband's safety, we're not going to let him come on and share his perspective of how it was during that process. We'll just assume it was great and he handled it well and was happy with everything.
Yes, he's still around, so I think all is well.
Survived. Yeah, he survived, and the marriage survived, which is good.
Yes.
Okay, so you bought that second one. How did that deal turn out? Was it as expected? Was it as good of a deal as you guys anticipated, or any surprises on that one?
No, it was a larger space. And this owner, he had, I want to say 5 laundromats plus some other businesses like a restaurant or whatever. So he was downsizing and really just trying to get out of the business. So it was, I would say it was easier only because we had already done it. So all the paperwork that I know we needed, all of the permits, all that stuff, a lot easier. And once the deal was made, same thing, here are the keys and goodbye. But for us, we already kind of knew what steps to take as far as the renovations. And like I was saying, the permits and the certifications that we needed. And I think that it moved. No, not I think. I know it moved a lot more smoothly than the first one. The first one, things would happen and we're like, oh, well, what are we supposed to do? Well, who do we call for that? But now, like you said, we put systems in place. And I had like an accordion folder with different sections. And so I'm like, okay, we need to do this, this, and this. And I'm a Post-it checklist girl. So sometimes I put stuff on the checklist that I've already done, but I need to put it on there because I need to see what was on the list just to check it off. So I had a lot of to-do items and we got it done. And the only thing is that, when you do those large remodels, you have to close. So when we wanted to get the floors done. So the first time we learned our lesson, because it's like, oh, we forgot to tell people we're going to close and people were showing up. But this time we knew, okay, during this week, we're going to, make it better for you. We're trying to create a space where you feel comfortable, where you feel safe and the place is clean. And in order for us to do that, we need this amount of time. So please bear with us and we're going to come back and it's going to be great. And it was. People were just amazed at the changes that were made, how clean it was, what options they had. It wasn't just quarters anymore. Now we have an app-based system where you can check from home which machines are available, or you can put your items in and then go do whatever you want to do and say, hey, I got 30 minutes before I need to be back. And people love that. So.
Yeah. In terms of, you don't necessarily have to get specific, but in terms of funding this, was this just from money that you saved and then getting loans, or how did the funding the second business come about?
So funding the second one was money that we saved, and then we financed all of our equipment. So we had money saved, and then we financed the equipment. Because the equipment is expensive. I don't know if anybody's out there talking about that right now, but we're talking like $30,000, $40,000 for machines. And then for machines that have the capability of whether it's card or the app where you can use your phone, things like that. They don't, card readers and all the stuff that you need. Again, that people don't talk about initially. They're like, oh yeah, just get these machines. And then you get the machines and you're like, well, is that compatible with the card system I just purchased? Oh, it's not, but luckily that didn't happen to us because our first location is coins only. So the second location, that was something that during the first location, I said, oh, it'd be nice if we had another option. Everybody's doing contactless this again. From the pandemic, things that you learn. So can we get this? So there comes the research with, do you do card? Do you do the app? Like which one is better?
So on that location, the one where you have the app, are you doing both app and coin?
Yes.
Like a hybrid kind of model?
Yeah, we're not going to ever get rid of coin because we have a population that does not believe in technology, and I don't want to remove that from them. So they come in and they're like, no, I'm not using my credit card. No, I can't use my phone. They still have flip phones. So no, we'll always have coins, and then just offer other options, whether it's card, cash, or the app-based option.
Yeah. Do you have any sense? I'm just curious, and you may not know this, but do you have any sense of like how, like what percentage uses coin versus your app system?
So it depends on the location. Obviously for Norwalk, it's 100% coins.
Right.
We do have a POS machine. So if they want to purchase detergent and things like that, they do, but they can also use cash. But at Norwalk, it's 100%. I would say Linwood, we still have quite a few people who use coins, but we are trying to convert them to using the app. So I would probably say, and my husband's probably better at this, but I would say like 60-40. Yeah. And then in Long Beach, we have a lot of app users. So probably the same, but switch more app than coins.
Wow. Okay. Yeah, that's more than I was expecting, actually. Yeah. So that's pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, speaking of third locations, when did child number 5, 6
Stop.
or laundromat number 3 come in?
I know my laundromat babies.
yeah. When did laundromat number 3 come into the scene?
So, 2021, 22. So one location a year. So
okay.
22. Yeah, we're in 25.
Was that one that you guys were like on the prowl for? We need a third location. Let's go out and find it. Or okay. Yeah. So what was the process of finding that one like?
So we had a broker who, again, relationship from our first laundromat and our first financing of machines. We met that person, and he's been very instrumental in like throwing things our way. Like, oh, you're looking for another one? Here's a list of stuff. Go call around, see what they're doing. Because again, very essential for us to meet the people who are there and try to negotiate the best price and the best deal for us, and the whole transition portion of it. This one, the owners were leaving the country. So luckily for us, we were able to kind of get in there.
You're staying in the country.
Yeah. we'll be here. Yeah. And now we have 2 laundromats, and we could say, we know how to run this. We know how to make it better. Here, check out our other locations. Like, we're not going to let you down, because also it's kind of like their legacy too. You know, although we're changing it, it's new ownership, new management, and the look of it has changed. It's like, well, this used to be you. And if you wanted to continue and to kind of support this neighborhood, we're the people to do it for you. Once they sell it, they probably don't care, but at least they know that the people that they're selling to are good people, and it's going to be beneficial for the community. And that's something that I always preach, because it's the truth. But we want to create this presence in the community and be a community support, no matter what city we're going to be in next, because we're going to get another one. So not next year, not this year, but we're not actually looking right now. It's more of like the building out of all of our systems, making sure, all the managers are in place. And because again, I still work full time. So it's kind of difficult, to put in the hours that are needed for the laundromat to continue to be successful. But I think we're doing a good job.
Yeah. Well, I wanted to ask you about that because, that's a question I get a lot. And, I know there's a lot of laundromat owners who do work full time and run their businesses. I mean, I guess I'll say on the side, but a lot of times it's not like an on the side thing. It's like real effort here. But how have you managed while you're working? You have a family, you got multiple businesses, self-serve laundromats, but also pickup and delivery. Like this is a lot of stuff going on. How are you managing all of this?
I try, and I don't want people to think that it's easy. You know, I recently had a family member tell me, "Oh my gosh, you just have it all together. Everything's so great. I'm so proud of you. You're doing this, you're doing that." And I'm like, and you know, honestly, sometimes I don't know how. It just happens. And I tell people it's definitely my personality. I am a go-getter. Anytime I make a promise, I'm going to keep that promise. And the promise that I made to the people who work for us is that we're not just in this business for us. You know, we've given a lot of people in this community a job and a way to take care of their families. And we've accepted you now as part of our Bubbly Mat family. So when we succeed, you succeed. And if we fail, there are a lot of people who are going to be without a job. Obviously, they can go find another one, but I still work. My husband and I, we still work. So we have something to fall back on. So it is my goal to make sure that this doesn't fail, because there are a lot of people depending on us. There are people in the community that depend on us to make sure that our business is, you know, still clean and it's available to them, you know, that somebody's not going to come in and tear this laundromat down and make, you know, a Walmart. I don't know. It's not that big. Our laundromat.
How big is your laundromat?
It's not that big.
Just kidding.
But, you know, tear it down and put something, a liquor store. Let's just say make a liquor store out of it. But put something there that doesn't benefit the community. And we don't want that. We really want to be a resource in a place where, you know, people have to go. We want them to be able to choose us and just have a great experience there. So we do our best to make sure that it happens. And like I said, it's not easy. I take notes, copious notes. I have to-do lists. I have calendars, several calendars, shared calendars with my husband for things for the girls. You know, any date nights planned, they're in the calendar and I have to send it to him so that you get that reminder, like, going on a date tonight, you know that, right?
Right.
We have other systems in place for meetings. And then my job, I have a separate work phone for that. So everything, there's silos, you know, everything's happening, but then I have to make sure that I give that time and attention to all those things so that I keep all the balls in the air. And sometimes, like I said, I don't know how I do it. I do pray. I'm a believer in perseverance and a lot of prayer, a whole lot of prayer. Like, God, I need you. I need you to help me through this. And to just, you know, I think when you do right by people, it comes back to you. So it's just very important to make sure you're being honest and fair when we do this business. So.
Yeah, I love that. And I agree wholeheartedly. And, you know, I just feel like I want to say, because I feel like you're at risk of downplaying all that you've got going on and that you're accomplishing, but like, it's pretty incredible. And, you know, anybody who's run a business knows how hard that is. Anybody who's run a business and worked knows how hard that is. Anybody who runs a business and worked and has a family knows how hard that is. And anybody who's run multiple businesses with all the other stuff going on knows how impossible that is. So it is impressive that you've done that, and very cool. Not only that you did all that, but then you decide to give up a little bit of your time to come on here and share with us, which is awesome. And I think just a reflection of you and who you are, and you know, the heart you have for what it is that you're doing, that passion too. So I appreciate that. That sounded like I was wrapping this up, but I'm not wrapping this up because I got a couple more questions for you.
Wait, there's more.
I got inspired by like, oh man, I just really appreciate you and how you're running your businesses and your heart for the community there. But okay, one question I have for you. I'm curious if you've thought about this or if you have something in mind for this. is there a point? And if so, at what point do you say, okay, I don't need the job to fall back on. We've got the laundromat businesses in there enough. Is there a point for that?
And that is the goal. And the only reason that we both still work, my number one is the insurance. I've had a job without insurance before. And by myself, it's like, oh, that's kind of pricey when I actually did need to go to the doctor. And I was like, oh, that's pricey. I had the money, but it was just an overwhelming cost. And with my job now, the benefits are the number one reason why I'm still here. And then also, the laundromats, yes, they are bringing in revenue, but it gives us breathing room. And I've shared this a lot, and my family knows I love a good vacation. And I'm not talking about like a staycation, like, oh, we're going to go to Santa Monica, we're going to go to San Diego. Like, I'm like, nope. I want to get on the plane. I want to be on the plane for hours, and I want to get off and I want to have a good time. So we're going to another country. We're experiencing great food and history and things like that. And that costs money. So to be able to give our kids too the opportunity to have some great experiences, things that I didn't get to do growing up. And that's one thing, like, we are building a legacy. And once we're at that point where we're like, okay, this is it. I believe that we'll know, because we can take care of our household expenses as well as everything at the laundromat. Because like I said earlier, these machines are not cheap. So if it breaks or we need to replace one, we need to have the money available to do that. So I think we will know. My husband, he probably won't have like a number. He's like, just as many as we can afford,
Keep going,
But I think like a good number, maybe 10 laundromats. I don't know, though, just depending on the economy. But the way things are, they are getting more popular. So, you have a lot of investors who are purchasing them and then reselling them at higher prices. So I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what God has for us. But I know we're meant to be here, kind of like an Esther, for such a time as this. This is our moment. And we're here just trying to do the best that we can with what we have. But making sure people get their clothes washed and come in for a great experience and leaving happy, So I think we are accomplishing those things. And I do look forward to having more. And I do look forward to retiring. This is not something I want to continue to do. So coming on here, getting more comfortable with being on camera, because I'm not.
That's right.
I am outgoing and I'm okay with talking to people. That's how I build the relationships. But to be on camera, this is not something I enjoy. But
I'll just tell you right now, you should just get over that, because you're great on camera. You're really great communicating, and you got really great things to say. So I don't really even know what there is to worry about. So just, stop being uncomfortable. You ever thought about just stop? Just
stop, right? Just now, stop, right now, stop. Yeah. Okay. Okay.
Right now. Done. Happened. We just fixed it. I got a question for you. Actually, I think I have two more questions for you.
Okay.
Number one, go back to COVID era, or maybe like just before COVID hit, and you're starting this journey of trying to find a laundromat. Put yourself back in those shoes. If you were to give yourself advice, or somebody else who's searching now advice, maybe just one piece of advice on how to get that first laundromat and make sure it's the right one for you. You got like a go-to piece of advice for that?
If it's just one thing? Okay, maybe it's like a combination.
Give more than, okay, you can combine them. I'll allow it. Since you're so well-spoken and great on camera, I'll allow it.
So
that's my goal now. My goal is to hype you up on camera. That's my goal.
Okay. All seriousness, It's the connection. It's the connection. I know people say money talks, and it does. It really does. But if you can come with that connection and to be able to show how you're going to do it, not just talk about it, but be about what you're talking about, I think that comes across well. And then also like some things to kind of look at, you're going to have to go back to this laundromat if anything happens. So don't pick a place that's far from your house, because it's going to get exhausting very quickly, because your time is going to be required up front. At the beginning, you're going to have to spend time doing it. So I don't want people to get into it saying, oh, it's passive income. I'm going to get the keys and then I'm going to sit back and I'm going to collect the money. That's not how it is, not at the beginning. So that would be my advice, that, you keep in mind that yes, it's passive, only a lot of active after some active. So, and I don't like driving. So 15, maybe 20 minutes away. And that's my top. But I wouldn't pick a place that's too far from where you live, because you're going to have to be very active at the beginning.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, in LA, that's like, I don't know, like an 8-block radius
like an hour?
or something. Yeah. Yeah. 15 minutes. You can, I don't know. Just kidding. Yeah. Love that advice. And I love that you said it's not like you're just going to get the keys and just start collecting money, mostly because you're probably not going to know what half the keys even go to. So it's going to take you time to even just figure that out.
They don't all work anyway.
Yeah, I know. I really love it when all the coin boxes are like, there's like 8 different keys for all the different coin boxes.
Terrible.
Like,
label them.
Yeah, label, or just get them all the same, man. Or not. I don't know. Everybody do your own thing. That's all good. Yeah. Okay. I think the last question. I got one more after this, but it's not like a question. My last question is, what about now? Like, if you're going to talk to other owners, which you are talking to other owners right now, do you feel like there's a key thing, or maybe a combination of key things that have maybe had an outsized effect on success in your business? Like, hey, if you're going to focus on something, this is the thing.
Focus on your customers. Focus on customer service. I honestly, again, money talks. So people are like, oh, they're going to come anyway. If you build it, they will come. But also it's about getting them to stay. So I would take from like my management experience, and a lot of people are looking at how you retain employees, but how do you retain customers? So I think that a big part of that is the way that you treat them. People come and wash all the time, but when you acknowledge them, when you recognize, oh, hey, Jordan, how you doing? How's your wife? How are your kids? Oh, are they still in sports and this and that? And they feel that connection. They want to come back. They feel like family. And I think that is so very important, which is why we do a lot of things in the community. We have back to school backpack giveaways, or when we do our back to school events, all of our washers are $2. It doesn't matter if it's a 10-pound, 8-pound, 6-pound, I'm saying eight loads.
Yeah. Got you.
But it doesn't matter. Everything is $2. And then sometimes it just depends on, what year. We've had a taco guy out there and everything's free, where it's on us. You come, you eat. And think about it. When you're with family or you're celebrating anything, there's always food. I don't care if it's a birthday, if it's a marriage, a death in the family, we come together around food. So we feed people. And then we give them discounts. We have promotions during Christmas, where money is kind of tight. And so we're giving you double your money. You spend 20, we'll give you 20. So now you have $40 to spend instead of only the 20. So we try to do as much as we can. We partner with other people in the community to offer free laundry days. But I think for me, and as a business owner, and now I'm going and, it's been 5 years now, we've been doing this. It's the service and making people feel that connection. I mean, we're kind of like, if I would have to say, like, we had some core values or whatever, it will definitely be the exceptional service, community, and connection. I think that's what I would say.
Yeah, it's huge. You know, what's funny is, I mean, we're a couple hundred episodes in, and not across the board, but a huge majority of people that are doing well in this business and that are finding success have given an answer similar to that, like customer service. And in fact, I was actually going to do just a solo episode on this, and maybe I still will, because I got into a little bit of a debate with somebody about customer service where they were like, customer service in a laundromat, like what if it's unattended, you know, whatever. And I was trying to make the point of like, even if you're an unattended laundromat, there are customers, there are ways to serve your customers in an unattended laundromat. And I think that it's critical. And I think that it's a common theme that runs throughout successful owners, that's important to them. And it's a common missing theme of laundromats that are struggling that I see across the board. So
yes,
I think you are very wise and are running your business the right way. And I think the sky's the limit for you guys. So maybe I'm with your husband in the, let's not put a number on it. And don't cap it. Just keep it running. Just kidding. I know there's a lot of nuances of scaling. So
we'll see.
Yeah. Well, this has been not only very informative and just a lot of like really good information there, but a lot of fun. So I appreciate you coming on and sharing that. The last thing that I wanted to ask you, the question that I've been reserving is if people want to check out more of what you got going on online. I know you're starting to put some stuff out there. What's the best way for them to connect with you as somebody who values connection?
So now, yes, I am doing more on social media. I told you I'm not very comfortable with being on camera, but obviously we do.
That was an old story you were telling yourself, because the new story is you're great on camera because we have irrefutable proof right here, right now, that you are great on camera and that you love it.
I'm great on camera.
That's right.
So yeah, all social media. You can just look up Bubbly Mat Laundry. So Instagram, Facebook, TikTok. If they want to send an email, info@bubblymat.com. But yeah, if you look up Bubbly Mat, we should pop up, whether it's on Google or Yelp, and then any of the social media platforms. And then our stores are come visit us if you're in Southern California, Linwood, Long Beach, and Norwalk. But everything's there. If you want to call, you drop us down. No, 562-231-7262. Sometimes I actually answer the phone. So you actually say, hey, it's Stacy from Bubbly Mat. And half the time people don't think that I'm the owner. So they just chat and say all the things. And I'm like, oh, that's me. And they're like, oh my gosh. So, but yeah, all the social media we tried. LinkedIn, I am on there, but again, I'm still figuring all that out. I'm trying to put more stuff on social media, but Bubbly Mat Laundry, and you'll be able to find us.
I love it. We'll go out and make sure that we find you. And if you're out there listening to this, get out there, give her a follow, engage. She likes that community connection. So connect. And listen, Stacy, this has been awesome. Thank you so much for taking time out of your incredibly busy day. I actually don't even know how you did it, but I appreciate you taking the time to come on here and to share your story and to share your hard-earned wisdom. And listen, we're going to have to do a future episode here to see how things are progressing and see if you have another kid along the way or buy some more laundromats or, who knows. She's shaking her head no to the kid and yes to the laundromat.
No to the kids.
So. All right. Awesome. Well, thank you so much again for coming on, and look forward to being in touch again and doing this again sometime soon, where you're going to be a whole new person, where you're going to have actually internalized this, that you love being on camera. And I'm looking forward to that for sure. I got to tell you, incredible episode. Like I said, I mean, tell me I'm wrong. You're here. Tell me I'm wrong. I'm not wrong. I'm not. Incredible episode. Listen, all of it, though, will have been a waste if you do not take action on something that you learned or came across or an idea that was sparked from this episode. So pick something, take action on it. I loved how she landed a deal, because I hear this all the time. I probably hear it at least once a week from somebody. I can't get a deal because there's all cash offers everywhere. Stacy gave you the blueprint on how to beat all cash offers. So get out there. Don't say no. Don't be afraid to ask. Get out there and do it. All right, do it. You can do it. I believe in you. And we're here if you need some help along the way. Obviously, tons of free resources. But, check out laundromatresource.com/join. Come be a part of the community. And, even better, come hang out with us in Hawaii. laundromatresource.com/Hawaii. All right. See you next time. Peace.